Hi, I'm Patti. I'm a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. And today I'm going to be taking you through making these beautiful sterling silver and tourmaline earrings that are part of this larger set. It uses the technique of stringing and crimping and a jump ring, so it's fairly simple. So let's get started. The first thing I'll do is just kind of point out the elements that we'll be using in the earrings. I'm going to move the necklace away. So we'll be using some of these beautiful little tourmaline square rondelles. They're very fine, so we'll be using some clear 49 strand 0.012 inch Accuflex. These beautiful sterling CZ Leverbacks. Some little Swarovski rounds, some crimp tubes in sterling, which is really the best kind of crimp tube to use. They're really nice and soft and they bend easily. Some jump rings. And this is pretty much what's going to be in our piece. So first thing I'll do is take my Accuflex and I'm going to cut a length of that. So I like to cut extra of the Accuflex. You can see the earrings only use a couple of inches, but it's really good to have the extra working space. So I cut, for this piece, maybe 6 or 7 inches. So I've got my Accuflex cut. I'm going to stop the end of the Accuflex with a bead hugger. This is a great little invention that allows you to work with beads without worrying about anything falling off the end. So I'm going to go ahead and start stringing. The first thing I'll do is string on 3 of these little Swarovski rounds. And I'm just going to follow the pattern that I'm seeing on the earring and do 3 of the little tourmaline square rondelles. Tourmaline is a favorite stone among jewelry designers. I know it's one of my personal favorite stones to work with and to wear. It's actually a stone that was really widely used in the Renaissance by artists and poets, writers, as a talisman because it was believed to spark creativity. It's a bright, beautiful stone that comes in an amazing rainbow of colors, soft colors. It's a really nice palette. Okay, so I've completed my pattern, and we're going to go ahead with the next step, which is going to be crimping. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the little bead hugger and take both of my wires and put them together and just hold them at the top. Then I'm going to grab my little crimp tube and I'm going to slide both of the wires through the crimp tube. So I'm going to go ahead and take out all the slack from my earring here and hold that in place. It's really important to try and keep all the slack out of that if you can. Then I'm going to pick up my French wire and slide it over one of my wires and then the other. Well, didn't work. Let's try that again. It's a little bit tricky. So we slide it over one wire and then we finesse it over the second wire. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to keep the French wire up here a minute. It's really delicate and you have to be careful not to crush it or pull it out of shape. So I'm going to make sure the slack is out of this earring as much as I can get it. Thread my wire through the crimp tube so it's going back through. And then slowly, carefully pull the wire through the crimp tube, making sure that the slack stays out of the earring. Take your time on this process. Okay, and what we're going to end up with is a little French wire loop at the top, like this, like so. I'm going to take a little bit more slack out of that. Now I'm going to hold my wire here against my piece, and I'm going to grab my crimping plier. There's my crimping plier. And I'm going to crimp that bead and then close it up with the outer part of the crimp plier. So we've got our French wire crimped. So the earring is crimped. We just have to put a crimp cover on. I'm going to grab one of these little crimp covers. I just like to put it right here and grab it with the end of my crimp pliers, like so. And then we'll put it on the piece, and I like to face it toward the back, whatever the back is going to be, so the little seams in the back, and just kind of finesse that closed. Once I get it closed part way, I kind of like to use a regular plier to round it out and make it nice. Next thing we'll do is get a jump ring. And we'll open that up, thread on the Leverback. And then thread that through the French wire and close it up. You want that nice and snug so it stays. And there you have your beautiful tourmaline and sterling silver earring.